That is good banter.
All right, Sarge, over to you, buddy.
Alrighty, folks, and welcome to... Holy shit, nearly fell off the chair. Welcome to episode, what do we say?
57, mate.
57 of the Good Banter podcast. And I'm a bit short for breath. A reason being, I thought I was a little flat last week. So I thought I started a bit flat.
I had that vibe as well. I'd sort of come from work and I was a bit... it was a hot day last week and I was sort of in the shower and then I got back out and I felt a bit flat.
And I too felt flat. I was straight out of the office, straight into the podcast. Probably still had my working hat on. So today I just said, fuck it. And I went out and did 10 minutes flat out on the treadmill.
And you are sweating.
And I'm fucking... You can't accuse me of being flat. I am sweating. My blood's pumping. Not sure if I'll dish up any decent content because I'm still
you might pass out.
Puffing and panting. But I'm full of energy and ready to go. And we have got... Just a shitload to talk about.
It's just getting bigger, Tommy. It's getting bigger, mate.
We are snowballing.
We're going well, mate. We're going well. So
where do you want to start? We've got
We've got a fuck check.
Oh, yeah.
Big D.
Oh,
Big
D.
D's hit us up. He we hadn't asked him for much, and he assures us that he's still on board. And
that's good.
He's got right back to us. He's looking forward to getting those socks as well from Vuco.
Okay. What do we do about those socks?
I'll get out there at some stage. I'll get out there at some stage. Yeah.
I've been wearing those socks around from Vuco, and they are
new pair of socks. They're great.
Sweet pair of foot mittens.
Oh yeah. So last week we were talking about cats in the cradle. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
And I think everyone assumed it was from Cat Stevens.
Well, I think you assumed.
I assumed it was.
Yeah.
Oh, beg your pardon. I just had some Fanta.
Oh, that's good. That sparks you up. The orange. I like the orange. So you said Cat Stevens because you just put the two words together.
Yep.
And it's not Cat Stevens. Now, Cats, and then you said...
Ugly Kid Joe released
Kid Joe, but that was definitely a cover.
That was
definitely a cover.
So, not a bad cover. There's some dog shit covers, but that one was pretty good.
You know the cover that has ruined the song for me? Remember Spiderbait, Black Betty? Oh, my God. If I never heard... That Spiderbait cover again.
Who does it? Who does the...
the originals. Black Betty.
Spiderbait did the cover.
Spiderbait did the cover.
I love Spiderbait.
No. I sort of didn't mind early on a little bit of Spiderbait. I never really got right.
Jeez, you're the Aussie band icon.
Yes,
that surprises me, Evan. That surprises me.
Yeah, I sort of liked Buy Me a Pony, sort of that 95, 96 era.
Yep.
But, Jesus, Black Betty, geez, that threw me right off the fucking trail.
Interesting.
Of Spiderbait, Jesus, because it was just on radio. It was too much. Too much. You just get sick. Like, all right, Cram, we bloody get it. Bam-ba-dam. Good on you, Bam-ba-dam.
I think maybe because he's the singer and the drummer.
I
think he's doing too much.
He's getting a bit big for his boots,
he needs
old
to,
Cram.
Allocating some tasks to other people. He's obviously selecting what songs they cover. He's got too much on his plate. But is it Bam-ba-dam?
Bam-ba-dam. Black Betty, Bam-ba-dam.
No,
Black Betty, Bam-ba-dam. Who, the original?
No,
Cram.
Cram. Oh, I thought it was Bam. Bam-ba-dam. Maybe he likes it because his name's in it. Jesus.
Any music question is hopeless. You are hopeless.
I like my female vocalists. Your Jules, your bloody Dixie Chicks. Or the Chicks, of course, now, as they're known. No, that, of course, isn't true.
So there we go. So Big D's hit us up. Thank you so much, Big D. Cats in the Cradle, originally sung by Harry Chapin.
Harry Chapin?
In 1974.
Never heard of him.
Cat Stevens did cover it, though. Cat Stevens did cover it.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. I didn't know she covered it, but there we go. But
he covered it. Cat Stevens.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeez.
I'm thinking of Cat Power. She's a female artist, but Cat Stevens is
okay.
It's a man. He changed his name, didn't he?
To Yusuf.
I
remember I went to the Cat Stevens concert, or the Yusuf concert.
Yep.
And had some pretty average seats right at the back. I loved him growing up. He had some classics.
Oh,
but
great
growing
songs.
up in the country, real sing-along classics, real pub pub classics, but obviously he's changed now. He's a
bit more spiritual. He's a bit more.
What is he? He's changed his religion.
Is he
Muslim?
Muslim.
He's a Muslim. He's changed his name to Yusuf. And anyway, there was about 50 people behind us. It was a busload up from Korowa, and people obviously the message obviously hadn't got to Korowa that Cat Stevens was no longer singing pub classics. He was now this Muslim. He's now Yusuf, and he got up. He wasn't he wasn't preachy about being a Muslim, but it was quite a spiritual talk. And they were just sitting there going, "What the fuck is this?"
To Cat?
They're behind us with their Jimmy cans going, "When's the fucking sing along?" They thought they were going to a Barnesy concert, and it was it was funny. They're not what they expected, but I think they still had a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. But so it was sung by Harry Chapin in 1974. Cat Stevens did a cover, and Big D said, "I don't think you need any more than that."
No,
he was going to give us more info, but he said,
"No, it's probably a
bit too much for Tommy's amazing brain."
Did he write that, or did you add that?
No, he wrote that. He wrote that,
right,
and then
check,
he put a little emoji of a big brain and the laughing emoji. So I like Big D.
That's how I feel about that.
He's
Big
good.
D.
He's going well. So
that's good. And we had a bit of a mix-up.
Mate, the other things have been happening here, mate. Well, I've had to be here at Good Banter HQ. I've been fielding calls. I've had to speak to our lawyers.
Yep.
I've had, there's defamation cases.
Okay.
Everything is happening, mate, because last week you made a huge call and you threw someone under the bus
who had absolutely nothing to do with the situation.
Nothing to do with the situation. Please recap us, Tommy.
Okay, so those who have been listening for the last probably month or so, we've been drip feeding conversation, a minute here, a couple of minutes there, about the ideal way to cook a meat pie.
Yes. Yep.
And some people like it in the oven, some people hate meat pies. I prefer mine microwaved.
Yeah.
And I got a message from who I thought was Anthony Lamont.
Maury,
who we call Maury, yeah. And he said I read out I paraphrased, but read out a bit of an email that he sent to me saying basically he fucking hates it when his wife cooks the pies in the oven because the edges go too hard. You need a jackhammer to get through it. It's fucked. And he's saying, honey, just put them in the microwave and for 3 minutes, happy days. And we read this out.
You were adamant. You were adamant. That's a good word.
That it was Anthony Lamond that sent me this message. And anyway, so I'm on the way to a gig Friday. Get out of the car, about to do a gig down at the St. Bede's, Mentone.
Yep.
Business luncheon. Get out of the car, get a phone.
There'd be some high rollers there, wouldn't there?
Oh.
St. Bede's, bloody
There's
Mentone.
Bit of money in the room.
Bit of money in the room.
And a lot of flags too. A lot of flags in the room. They kept bragging that they were. It's the club that famously was coached by.
Do you know?
Yeah. Do you know?
No.
No. Fucking okay, we're gonna get
Big D.
We're gonna get to my ADD.
Jesus Christ!
He's the coach of the Western Bulldogs.
Oh, Luke Beveridge.
So it's where the club that he famously, they're the only team in the Ammos to ever have won 3 consecutive flags in 3 different divisions, and that's where Bevo had all his success, and eventually got an AFL gig and became an AFL Premiership coach. So it's a real, very proud club. And anyway, so I get out of the car, about to walk into their new $7 million facility, get a phone call from Anthony Lamond, and he's laughing. He's in stitches. He goes, mate, loving the show, just having a great, really enjoying it. But I've got to tell you, you read out an email from me. He goes, I don't know who the fuck it's from, but it's not from me.
It's not from me, mate.
He goes, I don't even like pies. So,
what was your conversation? Because he sent me a message.
It really had me really confused because I swear I got a message from him.
Well, you read it off your phone, so
that's the crazy thing about it.
Here we go, mate. So I get this on Friday.
Yep.
Hang on a sec. Where are we? Okay, here we go.
It's a lengthy message.
It is a lengthy message. So strap in. But like I said, I mean, there's been defamation thrown out there. He was going to maybe, take us to court.
But fortunately, just
slandering
in
his
the
name.
nick of in time, I got a little sweet little bit of paper, A4 bit of paper that says I got ADHD. So I reckon I can get off.
You can get off.
I can get off.
You can. If you got a decent lawyer, I reckon you can probably get off.
I don't even
mate.
need a lawyer. That bit of paper get me out of pretty
You'd be
much
like
anything.
Dennis Denuto. Maybe you just
Represent
it's the
myself.
vibe. It's
It's the
Marbo.
vibe. It's the ADHD.
It's the fucking printer cartridge. The bloody paper tray. This
All
is
right,
bullshit.
so this is a
All
message
right,
from
so
Anthony
this
Lamont.
is Friday, 11:22 a.m. Hello, Evan. Hope you're well. It's Anthony Moore in brackets Lamont here.
Because we stuffed up his name.
We stuffed up his name, yeah. Firstly, good work with the Good Banter podcast. I've listened to every episode and even find myself joining in at home.
Well, that's where the banter comes in.
That's where it is. So particularly in the early days when each episode represented a football number, which, FYI, I checked out at episode 52 with Sean Wren from the Adelaide Crows. Old Rennie.
We've stopped doing that.
We have stopped doing that.
too
Well,
high.
it's getting a bit high now. It's getting a bit high.
Maybe we
I'm
could. If we're into ice
texting
hockey,
you-
we could do it. They go high.
We could do that, yeah. I'm texting, or maybe we could just do shitty local players who have got, your 78s and your 82s and your 275s. I'm texting you, Evan, because I have to go straight to the top with this one, see. We know who's in charge of this shit, mate.
Yeah.
They're coming straight to the top. I was stoked in episode 56 to get a mention from Tom. Regards my review on the 4 and 20 pie. If okay with you, Evan, I would just like to clear up a couple of points for you and your listeners, and we do appreciate this. Number one, I have communicated with Tom on several occasions via the phone and email, but not once via Facebook Messenger.
So I got it Facebook Messenger.
It was Facebook Messenger. Yeah, here we go. This is number 2.
Yep.
So already
Okay.
one down. Number 2. The first and only time I had a 4 and 20 pie was at the SCG in 1987
Okay.
on the 5th day of the Ashes. And as I was only 9 years old at the time, and this was over 30 years ago, I think it would be unfair of me to review the pie, which is fair enough.
That's a fair call also.
Because when you're 9, I mean, you could eat a turd sandwich and you go, this ain't bad.
I don't know. My kids don't eat anything.
Okay, all right. But pies,
Pies, you'd hope they'd eat a pie.
You'd eat a pie, surely, these days. And back then. And this is probably the big point. I don't even have a microwave oven due to radiation concerns, so have no idea how on earth I could reheat a pie in one.
Okay. Well, firstly, I think pies have come a long way since the radiation issues. I don't think they're...
Microwaves.
What did I say?
Pies. Have you got these drugs yet, Tom?
No,
Have you
we'll
got
get
these
to that
drugs?
later. The drugs haven't found their way into my hot little hands
And
yet.
you also said that in the message, he said he told his wife to jam the pie up her clacker or something like that.
Yeah, well...
So number 4, if I did have a microwave oven and I spoke to my wife, put the fucking pie in the microwave, I would most likely get the pie thrown at me.
I must admit, when I read it in Anthony Lamont's voice, it did seem out of character.
Yes.
He does. He's a extremely nice guy, and I was like, oh, geez, he's very passionate about the pies.
he said that to,
Yeah.
and she divorced him
I'm not sure,
No,
but it's starting to make sense.
Okay, number 5, just to set the record straight, I grew up in SA, and the only pies we have were Balfours, Villies, and the traditional pie floater.
Okay.
No 4 and 20. And nowadays I have only homemade pies, which I love cooked in the oven for approximately 60 minutes, making it nice and crispy. And also there is a beautiful pie fragrance filling the house, which leaves me horny. No, salivating, and makes me even hungrier.
Gee, it's stacking up. The evidence is
It's stacking up, and
it's
he is
not-
adamant. In closing, I was flattered to get a mention on the podcast, but I have absolutely no idea where poor old Tom got his info from, and I'm starting to wonder if ADHD is the least of his worries.
Okay.
Perhaps his 4 and 20 pie review was best left as Anthony Moore and not Anthony Lamont. Love your work, keep the laughs coming. So big Anth.
Anyway, so that
Thanks for
night,
getting in touch, mate.
that night I get home, and look, it doesn't take much to confuse me, but I was fucked. I was sitting on the couch going, who has sent this? Have I imagined this message? Have I...
Well, you showed me it.
It's almost like...
It was there.
It's almost like I'm something out of Fight Club. Do I have another... Am I schizophrenic creating this shit?
Maybe it
But
is
then-
ADHD.
But then I got a text message. Doot-doot. A guy, porno, that I used to play footy with. He's a big fan of the show. His son's a big fan of the show.
Big mention.
Great guys. He sent me a message saying, Tommy, bit of a coincidence that Anthony Moore sent exactly the same message to you that I did. Yeah. And then the penny dropped. And I was like, it was porno.
Okay, and so he sent that through, was it Facebook Messenger?
He sent it through a messenger.
All right, so for most people, when you get a Facebook, even if you're not on Facebook Messenger, how it works is you get the message and up top it says the name.
Yeah.
So what part of that didn't you put together?
I'm not sure.
What didn't you comprehend?
I'm not sure. Maybe I was thinking of Anthony Lamont at the time. Well, look, I don't know. But look, it's when you have an amazing brain, amazing things happen, and that's an amazing thing. But I think we can put that one to bed now. Just I'll have to be a bit more careful when I.
I think just proofreading
something
would be good.
What I was chatting with.
One more pie thing because
pie,
you've got the paste in here. This is from Pudger. This is from Pudger on the Good Banter.
Pudger.
Yeah.
Do you know Pudge?
Old Rob Rutley. He's down in Ocean Grove. Lives down there. Good fella. Loyal listener. Great part of the world. He. Is my mic on there? What's going on? Hang on.
Is your mic off?
Oh fuck. Oh my god.
Didn't you turn your mic on?
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Fuck. All right, Tommy, my mic's back on, mate.
All right.
This is...
that's podcasting 101. There's a little switch on the microphone. You've just got to keep that up. When you push it down, your mic goes off. And you, my...
3 minutes ago, I
just flicked it off.
I flicked it off. And, I think I was getting a bit involved in the pie story and got a bit excited. I don't know why. Maybe fidgety. Have I got anxiety? Do I have something? Maybe ADHD? Just... But we're back on now. So
you were telling a story about your old mate from...
Pudger down at Ocean Grove. He hit us up on the Good Banter Instagram and said, just wait on this. I don't know how this is going to cut up. This is going to be ridiculous. Oh, my God. Where am I? Here I am. Here we go. Because you said you liked the microwave pies. Like that... It bamboozled me a bit.
No, a bit of sog. You want a bit of sog.
But, I don't know about that. Here we go. Pudger. Microwave pie over an oven cooked pie. You're joking. Fucking un-Australian. So that's his.
So that about a 5-minute build up to hear Pudge say you're fucking joking.
And un-Australian. It's almost like the Russian-Ukraine conflict. You know.
Thanks for your feedback, Pudge.
Thanks, Pudger.
You cook your pies away in the oven down there in Ocean Grove and snap your fucking teeth, mate, because maybe your oven's different to mine, but mine creates rocks. Anyway.
There you go. All right, yeah. What do you got, mate?
I got plenty, mate. I got truckloads to talk about.
Oh, bring it on.
Got
Back it up.
As I said before, Friday luncheon at the St. Bede's Mentone Footy Club. Funny story. Big Richo, Big Matty Richardson, he was there. Simon Madden was there. Great crew, full house, premiership flags hanging from the roof, good times. Richo told a story. Fuck, it made me laugh. And normally, look, I wouldn't get on here and do another comedian's jokes, and I wouldn't get on here and do a footballer's story.
You told someone else's story last week.
Did I?
Yeah, remember the shit in the bus in the bloody esky?
Oh, but he's not on the
he's not on the circuit. He's not on the circuit.
He's not.
And he can't tell
some pisshead from a footy club. He's not employing him to come up and tell stories.
Here's Robbo from the 1973
footy trip to Sydney. He took a dump in a bucket and fell in it. Yeah, no one's paying him.
No,
he's not doing cashies.
No, he's not.
So anyway, this is a store. So if this was a story that, you know, how all the footballers have got their stories.
I love it.
It's their sporty stories. It's a great story. It's like a comedian. It's their go-to. So Richo's got his. He's got some great stories about everyone.
It's about the super boot.
The super boot. Everyone thinks he's a shit kick. He's got some beauties. But this one, it wasn't a story.
Is it new? Freshie?
No, I don't even think it's a freshie. Okay. Simon Madden was telling stories about playing footy over in London.
Ooh.
And it was just out of the blue. Someone yelled out to Richo, "What's the weirdest thing you've seen on a footy trip or playing footy overseas?" And
Good
he
question.
just started laughing straight away. So this isn't a regular story for him. He said the craziest or the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my footy. Fuck, I laughed. So it was the year Nathan Brown got brought over. So it was Nathan Brown's first year at Richmond.
04?
Not
05?
sure.
Not sure.
But they're over in London playing. I can't even remember. But anyway, they're playing. It's 3/4 time, and he said they went over there for a week or so before, and it was basically their footy
piss
trip.
up.
It was basically their piss up. So they're all on the piss. And Nathan Brown, before he was married, he's hooked up with his bird a few days before the game, and he's with his girl, and they're
Good
really
looking
hitting it
rooster
off.
back there. Good looking rooster,
good-looking rooster
Nathan
now.
Brown. He's
And-
good.
and
He's
just,
in good form.
Just a great bloke. I did a bit with him through the sports bet. Just a ripping smooth character.
Don't they sort of rip shit on him for being a bit awkward, a bit uncomfortable in social situations?
Yeah. Oh, mate, and this is. I actually
It's a bit like you.
a little bit like me.
Does he have clammy hands?
He might have clammy hands. And I'm going to another story now.
Do it.
I spent a bit of time with Nathan Brown
Clang.
a couple of weeks ago, or last week on a sports bet shoot.
Was this the one where you didn't
Where I
mention
didn't want to
him?
name who the company was. So I'm on this sports bet shoot.
Is this with Ian?
Oh no, it wasn't that one. So and I'm doing these scenes with Nathan Brown, and he's a lovely bloke, and we're having a laugh about how shit at acting we are, and how we had basically 3 or 4 words each, and we were still butchering it. And anyway, so I just said, mate, possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen on television was something that you said about 8 years ago on the Sunday Footy Show, and it was a conversation that they were all having, around sort of, all chat about someone had got reported during the week, can't remember who it was, for retaliating. Someone had been pinched. They'd been pinching him all day, and eventually pinched him one too many times.
Yep.
Turned
He
around,
fucking pinched me.
turned around, jobbed him, and he got suspended. And they're all having their opinion about whether you should be let off a little bit more lightly if you're retaliating.
I reckon pinching, that's pretty bad.
Pinching shit.
Pinching
I remember
shit.
big Craig Kelly from Collingwood was a
He was a
pincher. He
pincher.
gave Dunstall a fair old pinch one day.
I got pinched one day.
Did
you
you?
go? Yeah.
And anyway, and Nathan Brown was just sitting there. Didn't have a great deal to say, and then just out of the blue he said, "Mate, I think it's just like if you come home." And everyone's listening, silence in the room, on the live TV, he's gone. It's just like if you get home and find your wife in bed with another man and you murder him, like, is that such a bad thing? And there was just about 5 seconds of silence, and everyone. And who's the host?
Tony.
Tony.
Maybe murders, maybe a bit. Maybe kick the shit out of him. Maybe.
And it was
belt
just silence. And Tony, what's his last name? Tony
Jones.
Tony Jones.
TJ.
Has gone. TJ.
Chompers.
TJ's gone. Okay, Nathan, thank you for taking us to a very dark place. It was one of the greatest things. And they all just cracked up laughing. It was stuff you couldn't write. Anyway, so they're on this footy trip. /game, 3/4 time. Nathan Brown's been hooking up with this girl for the last 3 days, and they're all in the huddle. And Richo, and he said, you could go out on the ground. It was a real,
it wasn't roped off or anything like that.
Hundreds of people out in the ground, all expats
Great.
kicking the footy. Everyone in on the
good
huddle.
old days.
The good old days. 3/4 time, game in London. Can't remember who they're playing. And he's turned around, and Nathan's about 50 metres away, just passion on with this girl at 3/4 time of the AFL game.
Isn't that a good way just to...
Richo could not even get it out. He was laughing so hard.
That's a bit different from having a dart or something at half time. Or something, just lashing it.
Just so funny. Just standing there like it's a blue light disco. Just passion on. Fuck. Funny stuff.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
He is one of the great guys you'll ever meet, Richo.
Richo, he's fantastic.
Yeah. We're,
down to earth. And even he's still looking fit, isn't he?
He looks
looking
fantastic.
Great.
So we were standing around there, and the guy who organised it has just walked in. We're all with a group of supporters there, and he's just walked up and handed Richo this big wad of cash in front of everyone. He goes, "Here you go, mate," and he goes, There's other ways to do that, mate.
Well, usually it's the golden handshake. You don't hand it up. And
no sign of.
There was no envelope or anything
no
like
envelope.
that. How much do you reckon was
mate,
it?
Come over here, mate. It
Yeah.
was decent coin. Luckily, there was a fair bit of money in the room, but yeah, you do that shit. Down the Doveton, the West Doveton Footy Club, and someone could probably buy a house for what he's just been handed.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
No, it's good cash,
times,
good cash, good story.
Good story.
Worth it.
So that was a great day. Saturday off. Sunday, big day. Couple of gigs.
Yeah.
Couple of gigs. First one down at Vermont.
Yes.
And it's a cricket club.
Yeah,
presentation night.
I got you. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that one. Because
you got me that one.
I
did.
That's the thing. I had another. I went to Red Hot Summer on Sunday this year. I think I said to you, I said if I was getting paid to go to music festivals, I'd be raking it in this year.
Unfortunately, you have to pay them.
No, and I think the thing is as well, because the missus is like, oh, you're going to another festival, but it's all these festivals that have been cancelled and postponed.
So you've got tickets that were meant to be
I've
spread out.
I've got tickets that I was meant to go to last year, so it's all just building up. It's banking up.
That's not your fault, mate.
That's not my fault, but it's just, she was working all weekend and I sort of...
You're on the piss. It's not a great
I had a boat cruise on Saturday and then Red Hot Summer, which we'll get to that later. But,
we'll get to that.
Tell us about the old Vermont CC.
So I've turned up to the Vermont Cricket Club and, geez, they are very highly thought of down there, the cricket club, because the main club rooms had been given to a past players golf day. And the cricketers were doing their presentation in the change rooms.
Oh, that's grassroots.
Oh, it was good.
Grassroots.
Oh, mate,
it's good.
Don't get me wrong.
There's
I actually reckon that Vermont, the club rooms there, great rooms, shit for a gig. I've always said that. They've got this big high roof. It's got a sort of mezzanine floor. Shit place to
being
to do a gig.
Playing at East Ringwood, Vermont were always the arch nemesis.
They were always the haves. Lots of flags.
Lots of flags, mate. You used to just get sick of them fucking winning them.
But anyway, there was... but a big fan of the show, Belly, came up and said hello. Lovely guy.
Ripper.
So you know Belly? Or
I know Belly.
Yeah, no, he's a good man.
I know Belly. So I was actually at the Red Hot Summer with his cousin, Bulzer, who's a loyal listener. They're both loyal listeners of the bloody pod.
Good. Well,
G'day,
Belly's not gonna like this bit because the guy, the couple of guys there were saying, "Oh, mate, do you want anyone to hang shit on?" And I was like, nah, it's all right, because it was pretty reserved. It's a Sunday. It was about 1 o'clock. Everyone was hungover. A couple of guys had the big fucking Slurpees, just sitting there looking like death, sucking on a Slurpee. So a few guys were on the cans. Most blokes were on the cans, but there was
going down a bit slowly.
Some pretty slow sipping going on. A few hungover boys in the room, and I said, look, don't worry about. I don't want to hang shit on anyone.
And sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, and if you forget the names and it becomes more about hanging shit than actually doing your jokes.
It does.
And sometimes if it goes well, all the hanging shit, you go back into your jokes, and they're like, nah, I just want to hang shit on, Bally and his 2 millimeter penis or something.
Yeah, and then you might start talking about that, and no one else in the room, only the guy that told you will know that, and he'll be laughing, but everyone else will be going, this makes no sense. But anyway, so he goes, mate, you want someone to hang shit on Belly over there. And I was like, fuck, Belly seems such a nice guy.
He's a ripper.
Came and introduced me, but fortunately, Belly was low-hanging fruit because the entire club made the finals, and he was a captain, except for the twos, and he was captain of the twos. So Belly, as I said when I texted
you, leggy, I think.
I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's not. Whatever he's doing, he's not doing it well.
Apparently, he bowled a leggy once. It bounced about 3 times.
Okay.
Before it got to the batsman.
Well,
so
as long as
maybe.
Is there a limit to how many times it can bounce?
Oh, yeah, it's only meant to bounce once.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that 3 times is. 3 times that.
Yes.
But anyway, because he had a real strut about him, I thought, fuck, this he must be bloody, the
captain of the ones,
or the bloody opening batsman or something. But sure enough, he's the bloody leading his team to down the shitter. But no, thanks for listening, Belly. You're a bloody
enjoyed
good man.
it. He sent
Bulzer
the message saying, he just ripped shit on me for being the the twos captain, and everyone else has played finals. And
it was. And because you don't know, because I was sat there and watched the presentation. There was one bloke, because everyone, and this is very different to footy BNF nights. Every single person on the team, so all 11, I'm assuming there might be even maybe the 12th man, maybe the coach if they're around. Every single person gives a 3-2-1. So you're getting each round, you're getting scores like 25 and 26. And this one guy, round one, right off the bat, he got 4 for 27 in a victory. That's pretty good.
That's good bowling.
And he only got 3 votes, which I'm assuming he might have given himself. So, and that's one of the first things I said, and I thought it might get a bit of a laugh. I said, what about round one? Who's the bloke that got 4 for 27 only got 3 votes when the best on ground got like 27? And this bloke stuck his hand up and said, what did you do, mate? You're obviously pretty unpopular. And he just goes, yeah, it's fucked. And it didn't get much of a laugh, and I was like, all right, moving right along. So I don't know whether he's slept with I don't know what he's done. He's maybe knocked off.
He's obviously dirty about that.
Maybe knocked off the footy trip money from last year or something. But
even the cricket trip money.
Yeah, either or. Then anyway, so couldn't hang around. Thanks, guys. Have fun. That was good fun. Jumped in the car. Thanks for the gig, Evan. 22 minutes worries. In the car, straight down to Eltham, and... Mate, I walked into this joint and it was fucking pumping. Lower Eltham Cricket Club. So it was their reverse draw.
Oh, yeah.
To win $2,000, free piss, premiership reunion for 5 teams.
Okay.
And tell you what, I didn't hang around to watch those speeches. They were boring as fucking batshit. Here's the wife.
Yep.
Oh, no, she's gone.
She sort of cut it back out. She does that a bit.
She does. She accidentally rings me every now and again. But anyway, so...
Oh, no, she's back.
She's back on.
She's back.
Should I
Tammy,
take that? Hang on. I'll take
ice.
it.
Take it.
And we can... ice is in case of emergency.
Oh.
So you put ice next to...
okay.
Hi, Tam. How you going?
How are you?
Good. You're. We're just doing the podcast now. You're on it. So anything exciting?
I'll call you back later.
Okay. Talk soon. Bye.
They get a bit of stage fright.
They do get a bit of stage fright. I remember we put...
the one up in Darwin when...
We put Kristen on?
Yeah, we put Kristen on, and
Jesus,
that
was tough listening.
That was very... It was tough listening as it was. And then when they don't really give anything, it's even tougher.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what she gives me at home. So that's nothing out of the ord. But anyway, so I've walked in there. First thing I noticed, which I did bring up, which got a big laugh, there were about 5 blokes smoking ciggies under the they weren't even, they were sort of outside. They were about half a metre outside, but still under this deck. And the entire joint was pretty much made of fucking hay. So I cracked that joke. That got a laugh, but I've got in. I'm on stage. I thought there's almost too many people here. There's no stage. There's but he goes, mate, we'll be right. This big bloke said, I'll be right. I'll get him over. And he's just said, got everyone over. He did a great job. Everyone's around in this sort of semicircle.
Had
a microphone on the lead, and he did a great job. He was about 7 foot tall. This big bloke, built like a brick shit house. He's got everyone over. Welcome to the stage, suburban football, and I've come out right from the start. Oh, it's electric. It's great. Having fun, and I'm doing so I've still got, for those who haven't seen the show, for the first 10 minutes, I come out with my helmet, footy gear, mouth guard, and it's like it's pre-game. So I'm talking to people like we're about to run out for the start of the game. And then I pull out my whiteboard, and I start running through the team. And there's a few jokes throughout. That's all going good. Everyone's getting a laugh. A lot of footballers there, a lot of the past cricket players, they're footballers. And so I've got to the full forward. Rowdy. And I always look around and try and find a bloke. You never have to look too far. A bloke that looks like he's had a massive night.
Yes.
He looks like the sort of bloke that would get out and potentially get on the program.
Maybe get on the gear.
On the gear, whatever.
Yep.
So,
Revolver, wherever.
Yeah,
hasn't slept.
Yeah, doesn't feel the need to sleep
Bloodshot
Friday through Saturday. Anyway, so I found a bloke front and centre, or just to the left a bit. He's perfect. I spotted him. He'll be my man. And I went to Rowdy, and I say, basically, I go, mate, you're full forward. You've got to do something. You've kicked 1 goal all year. That's not good enough. And then I go quiet, and what I do is I start looking around the room.
It's very good.
As if his eyes are
darting
as if his
left,
eyes are fucked.
right.
Because the joke is that he hasn't slept all night. He's pulled off an all nighter. He's been on the program, and I start looking around, and it's getting, and it sort of normally gets a giggle, but it is getting a massive laugh.
Okay.
Like
That's good.
This is good, but you know when things get going too well, you're like, is there someone behind me doing dick tricks or something, or is there fucking what's going on?
Cock hanging out?
Yeah, exactly. I do that quite a bit. Is my cock hanging out? I was like, what is going on? The joint is erupting, and then I just and then I go to him, mate, your eyes are fucking all over the shop. What are you fucking looking at? And the people nearly falling over. They're laughing that hard.
He's not.
And I was like, this is strange. And anyway, so I've done me joke. That went well.
He doesn't have a lazy eye, does he?
Hear me out. Anyway, so I've gone through the whole. So I've gone through my whole show, and then it finishes off with my nicknames.
Yes.
And before I got into my nicknames, my nickname team of the century, I said, all right, does anyone here have a good nickname? And everyone started pointing to this bloke again.
Rowdy.
And I go, what's your name, mate? And he said, it's Jack. And it was, I wrote it down, his last name, Jack.
Lantern.
No, not Jack Lantern. Jack.
You can't read your own writing there, mate.
Because I was sweating. I got
Yeah,
bloody
you
shit
were
all over it.
sweating.
No, I didn't write down his name.
No, you
anyway,
didn't.
anyway, name was Jack. Lovely kid. Looked about 20, and I said, "Oh, it's you, mate. What's your nickname?" And he said, "Everyone calls me Keth."
Kev.
And have you heard this? I'd never heard it before.
Maybe refresh me, because it sounds like I may have heard that, but I got no
Well,
idea what the meaning is.
Yeah, so I said, why do they call you Keth? And the joint is erupting. They're nearly, people falling over themselves. They're laughing so hard. And I go, why do they call you Keth? And I said, and he goes, because it's Keith, it's just Keith without an eye. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, it's Keith without an eye.
He's got a
I
glass
said, what do you
eye
mean? He
or
goes,
something.
I'm missing an eye. And I go, what? And he and I went up to him, and he had this glass eye that was just looking out the side. Yeah. And it was one of those moments, the joint, it was so funny.
You couldn't
script it.
You couldn't script it. If you did 1,000 more gigs, nothing like that would ever happen again, and you've just bloody got it, and you didn't pick out a glass eye.
Hats off to the surgeon. He had one of the. I put a photo on my Facebook page. You cannot pick it. You cannot. I couldn't even tell what eye it was because I didn't pick him because his eyes were all over the shop. And we did jokes. Oh no, it just kept. Whenever I'd feel a bit of a lull, I'd go back to old Jack's old Keth and his missing eye. But just some good laughs, some good
banter,
old-fashioned belly laughs. It was good. And then his mum came over. She goes, "Oh, he loved it. He's a good kid."
How'd he lose his eye?
Well, I didn't really go into it, but he did
probably
have a
don't want
few
to.
other scars and shit on his head that he showed later. So I'm assuming there was some sort of an accident there.
Accident?
I don't know. But I did think, because I did say, and I say this quite a bit, I said, if anyone's looking for a bit of entertainment after this, we're going to go out in the field and Keth's going to kick the shit out of me. And that got a bit of a laugh. And I said, well, actually, I've lost 47 straight, but I reckon if I just stick to the left of Keth, you won't know where the fuck where I'm going. And that got a big laugh. So I thought, mate, and as I was saying that, I was thinking, I hope he didn't lose it and get punched in the head or anything.
Glassed or something like that. You hope not. You hope not. Yeah.
But I don't think he did.
No good.
But he had a great sense of humour. So I forget his last name, but good on you, Jack. You're a ripper, mate. So good on you. You and your hold on to that one good eye, mate.
That's great. Beautiful stuff, mate. Well, I had a pretty solid weekend, mate, and I managed to. Is there anything better than like some last minute gigs? Like I didn't have anything.
Bonus gigs. They're bonus gigs.
I had Thursday night down at Wolf of the Willows, which it was all right. It was all right. Crowd.
It's a tough room.
It's a tough room. It's a brewery. Yeah. You MC'd it the first one
and copped it up the pooper. No, they had that fucking.
They had like the fridge run. A lot of breweries at these gigs, they have the fridges running to keep all their beer cold.
And you don't notice it when you're just popping in there for a beer. But
and
all
when
of a
people
sudden
are
you
talking
try and run a
and
comedy
stuff like
night.
that. But then
sounds like the jumbo jets parked in there.
It's right behind you. So you said you had dramas with that. They ended up turning it off in the second bracket.
Yeah, well, it was just going. And someone goes, "Can we turn that off?" And some bloke goes, "Yeah," and just flick the switch and turn it off.
I
Could
can
we
hear
have
myself.
done that fucking an hour and a half ago, mate?
I know. So
anyway,
they've built their own stage. They've because I think last time you were just standing on pallets that weren't.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Okay, so they've done that. They've built their own stage. It's got wheels, so you can wheel it around. But they also pallets aren't very big, are they?
Yeah, 1.2 by 1.2.
Okay, good stuff. So, but they've also
1 by 1 by 1.1.
1 by 1 by 1.1. 1. Anyway, but they've sort of put a railing around it as well. It was sort of 2 pallets. So that was a bit weird. So you sort of felt a little bit like
It had a railing in front of it.
a railing around it. So you could step on from the front, and then they sort of welded this railing on. So it was almost like you're in a cage.
It's almost like you're in one of those things they put on forks that you lift up for safety when you've got to get something high, like when the guys have got to work on the power lines,
like a boom or a scissor lift. A scissor lift.
Go with scissor lifts,
sort of, I don't think we really got there, did we?
No.
So that was a little weird. And DC, Dan Connell, he was emceeing, and it was just early on. It was tough sledding. It was hard going. You can sort of tell early, because I did the little warm-up side of said, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for a big night of comedy? 5 minutes. And usually if the crowd's up and about, they're like, woo, let's do it, buddy, come on, comedy.
Yep.
So there was none of that. It was sort of, I don't know what was happening.
It's just flat.
And up the front, there was older people, maybe in their 60s, maybe late 60s, who just getting on. And then to the left, there was a group of people who, they were drinking, but they were sort of, I did a little call to, guys, turn your chairs around, because the tables were stacked lengthways. Set out lengthways, so people were sort of looking at each other and not at the stage. So I said, turn your chairs around so you can see the comics. It makes for a better night and whatever. And this table on the left, they didn't give a fuck about that.
No.
They didn't turn their chairs around. So DC was working hard early. Trace Armstrong was on, and she'd been having some great gigs, and she, it was hard work for her. I got up, and the first thing I said is, I had to postpone my wedding, twice. And this pommy bird just fucking starts pissing herself, just laughing, and I go, oh, that's not the fucking joke. Goes, oh, you had to postpone it. I just wouldn't shut up. So I just cracked on for about 10 minutes, but that was hard work. But Thorno brought it home. But it was just one of those gigs where it's probably 2 from 2, where it just hasn't been electric. So there was that. But then I get the call on Friday that Kings of Comedy in the city.
Excellent.
Colonial Hotel.
I've never done the Kings of Comedy.
It's
I'd like to get in there one day.
It's a great gig. It has been a little quiet, though, because they used to get a lot of people coming from interstate.
Okay.
And it's starting
what nights
to come
are they?
back.
Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So get down there.
Yeah.
And, so I'm headlining that show. So bang.
What time's that start?
It starts at 7:30.
Okay.
Good timing.
Yeah,
good timing.
really good timing.
So anyway, Simon Hughes emceeing, gets them up and about. First 2 acts go on. The crowd, there's maybe 30 there, and they're just not. They're not really coming on board. They're sort of stop, start, go to a break. Izzy Ali goes on.
Good act.
He started to get them, and then I went on. I thought, all right, I want to get my first 20 minutes sorted for festival.
For the festival?
So I thought, let's pump it. But just had a gig, and where you pick something. I mean, you mentioned about how your gig was up and about early. It's lower plenty. This one was just
Lower Eltham.
Lower Eltham. Yes.
Yep.
So this one, and there was just a girl in the front with her boyfriend who literally just looked disgusted at everything. And I know I'm no prize, and I'm probably not that great, but
what sort of girl was she like? She
was pretty young. I reckon they were in their early 20s. They had the mum there as well. And but seriously, at one stage I said, you just look disgusted. And she sort of just, to a point where and I said to Izzy after.
So you said that to her?
I said that,
okay.
yeah. But then she laughed at some stuff. And then I thought I'll finish on my joke, the story about Sam Worthington.
Yep, solid gag.
Solid gag. And if you're not sure, I might have mentioned it. It's about how the fires are raging.
Yeah, I think it covered about 7 episodes.
Seven episodes. So the punchline is Sam Worthington's getting into character. He's hit by this wall of flames. it's 100 degrees, and because this other actor's telling the story, how he ran outside with the cricket gear down at Hall's Gap. Sam Williams goes, "Oh, what'd you feel like doing?" And I said, "Definitely batting."
It's a good punchline.
It's a good punchline.
And it gets a laugh. It always gets a good laugh.
Nothing.
Nothing from her or nothing from the crowd?
Nothing from anyone. And that was
your finisher.
That was my big closer, and I've just gone, all right, guys, what the fuck? Has anyone played backyard cricket before? And a few people go, oh, yeah, not really. I go, well, and then
you shouldn't have to explain.
You shouldn't have to explain the joke. Well, I fucking did. I did. I said, guys, you know when it's like 35 degrees and you're playing cricket? This was 100 degrees. Do you know how bad it is fielding in 35 degrees? This is 3 times as much. And they go, oh, yeah, that's hot. That's hot. So I don't know whether it's maybe too sporty for some people or...
Well, it's for your festival, and the people that come to your festival are going to be... They're going to know the deal.
They're going to know the deal.
I wouldn't worry about these inner city folk too much.
No.
But if you have to explain it too many more times, maybe... if you have to explain it too many times, maybe reassess what you finish with. But stick to your guns for now.
So that was all right. And then I had a little boat cruise on. It was a bit of a fundraiser on Saturday. I had the gig Friday. I was going to drive up to Melbourne. We had a boat cruise. There's about 70 blokes.
Yep.
I sort of knew some guys who I used to play footy with at East Ringwood.
Yep.
Who said they're just getting a whole group of guys together. They've been wanting to do it for years, but with COVID, it hasn't happened. And it's just a bit of a...
Just getting on the piss.
Getting on the piss. A bit of a fundraiser for like mental health.
Good on them.
So just blokes on a boat, and they thought what they'll do, they'll get a few topless
entertainment,
or just waitresses.
Okay.
Just waitresses.
Yep.
So they're on the boat, and what I want to say, like, I think I made the assumption being a stripper has got to be one of the easiest jobs.
Yeah, it's not all positives. I think it could be fairly demoralising. I don't think the patrons are always fantastic.
That's true. That's
not always
true.
Getting great respect, maybe.
I reckon this was easy cash.
Yeah, but they don't know that going in. I mean, that could be a boatload of bikies.
That's true. That's true. I must admit the boys were very well behaved.
Yeah,
but
and not every. I think the old stripper or topless bartender's life or topless waitress life would have got a lot better in the last decade.
I think so.
I don't think that would have been a great job in 1984.
No, that would have been pretty tough, I reckon, back with some of the parties they went to. But no, the girls did a good job. But like I said, they were bringing the beers out, and then they weren't even really topless. They were just in bikinis and whatever. And if
that was a pretty big part of the job description, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, they sort of said, but anyway, but you can tell sort of the blokes who maybe haven't seen a naked chick for a while. They get a bit amped up, and they get a bit.
Can really bring the creep out in a person.
Really bring the creep out. Well, a few blokes said that because we're up top, and then downstairs, one of the boys goes, oh yeah, all the creepy single blokes are getting photos with the chicks and whatever. And like, Jesus, is that something that? And the problem is, there's a WhatsApp group. So what happens? Do you know what happens in WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Someone takes a photo and puts it in the WhatsApp, and it goes to your bloody camera phone.
What?
It goes to your camera roll.
No.
That's what it does. So
I don't think that's true.
Well, mine does.
Well, because I'm on WhatsApp groups for like
parents,
like dads, the dad's football team.
Okay,
and everyone's always putting photos on there about.
Maybe there's something on my phone that I need to change because all these photos.
You're taking screenshots of them, maybe.
No, that's not happening. They're in the WhatsApp, so all these photos are posting up with all these seedy blokes with bloody the strippers. I'm like, I don't want that on my camera roll.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a switch to turn that off. That's no good at all.
Yeah, so, but what I did, it was a cruisy little day. It was a great little fundraiser and good excuse for me. I just stayed on the mids. It's perfect. And then I went back to Kings of Comedy to back it up after the shit fight I had Friday and had a ripper. You got a fart?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to wait till your story's finished and then check in the...
it's pretty much finished. It's going nowhere. So, at a ripper at Kings of Coney. But that was it. I thought, I thought the strippers made pretty good cash for doing fuck
Well, you
all.
don't know what they were paid.
Well, they sort of did a little strip
If they
tease
get paid.
downstairs, and there was about 70 blokes, and I reckon blokes were putting in 50s, so then it went down to 20s. By the end, it was sort of 5s, but I reckon if you average it out, about
So they
20
were
bucks.
strippers?
Well, they did a strip in the end. It was for 10, but it was for 10 minutes. It was for 10 minutes. I reckon they made $1,000, like between
that's
them.
pretty good money. for
That's
10
good
minutes.
cash.
Yeah,
That's good
but
cash.
at the same time,
You don't know what you get.
You'd have to pay me a lot more than that to get my penis out in front of a boatload of strangers.
See, I reckon it'd be easy. Like all you
Yeah,
did,
I
like
guess.
a few of the blokes just got their boobs in their face, and then I'm thinking if all you had to do was, put your balls in a chick's face, like
Yeah,
I reckon
I
that's
guess,
easy
yeah.
cash. Easy
That's
cash.
easy cash,
But,
yeah. Not many
anyway,
of
that's
those-
a story that went.
Not many of
fucking
those.
nowhere.
Not many boatloads of girls that want that.
I know.
You
It's
go and put the balls in their
it's
face.
totally different, isn't it? So, but
Anyway,
No, that's
let
about
alone
it,
pay
mate.
for it, I'd say.
no, I think
Let alone pay for it.
no, not at all. You don't want it. So,
Well,
no,
you
go
got
to
anything
you,
else
mate.
there, Evan?
No,
I'll finish off with the ADHD
Do that.
update. But have I got anything? There's a few things. I just want to say, did a great gig last week that I didn't get to. This is what footy's all about. And a guy called Dyson Stevens, ripping bloke, very promising footballer, playing for the Melton Footy Club.
Ooh.
Had a absolutely shithouse, unfortunate injury on the footy field. Now in a wheelchair, and it happened during COVID.
Yeah.
And look, anything like that obviously is horrible at any time. But it happened during COVID, just 1,000 times worse. He couldn't be with his friends. He couldn't be with his, lots of his family. Couldn't
Yep.
go see him. So this was the first time. And he's doing okay. They didn't think he'd ever move his arms, and he's moving his arms. But
that's good.
he is in this wheelchair, and he's doing it tough. He had a lovely girlfriend there that's was just didn't leave his side the whole time.
Yeah,
she was
great.
fantastic. And anyway, so they had this fundraiser. So he's from Melton Footy Club and played a fair bit of footy with, I don't know whether he paid for Deer Park. I think maybe he's now assistant coach at Deer Park. And anyway, so this is the first opportunity they'd have to have this function. And it was fucking chockers. $300 a ticket.
Great.
All the grog, free grog, food, memorabilia, and so it was his mates, his footy mates, Melton, his footy mates, Deer Park, two clubs getting
Coming together.
and then they had Big Barnesy, Johnny Barnes, he was there telling his stories. They had Mark Harvey, he was getting up. Big Kecker,
Essendon connection.
Kecker was there.
Kecker, did you steal any of your jokes?
I didn't see Kecker because I was coming from down in Geelong. I was a bit fucking hungover, to be honest. I'd been at my sister's 50th.
Oh, yeah.
The night before, but Dougie Chappell got up and hung a bit of shit on Kecker, and apparently it went down like a lead balloon.
Oh, right.
Kecker does not like getting the shit hung on him.
No, Kecker's a bit like Trump, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't like he's the man about
He's the
town,
man.
and he's got the big chompers going.
He
He
might
sort
have
of
gone a
rocks
couple of
in there.
sizes too big, with the old
the
chompers.
teeth are massive.
But he's a lovely bloke.
Great bloke.
I've met him a lot of
Great
times. You feel like you're talking to the Godfather, like a mafia sort of.
He could
He
be.
has this vibe about him that he could have you knocked off whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
Whenever you wanted. Just have to.
Should we edit
Make a
out that
quick
stuff
call?
about his big chompers?
He's well aware.
No, I know.
was
I know.
actually
They're massive.
many moons ago.
Well, you need it to get through all the lamb he eats.
Yeah, he eats a lot of
Fucking
lamb.
Big chompers.
And anyway, but who was also there were 3 tables, so 30 of Dyson's workmates. And
Great.
he worked on, I assume, construction sites.
Yes.
Because this was 30 tables of the biggest
Animals.
fucking islanders you have ever seen in your life. And I don't know if they get 5 hours of free.
Scaffolders, maybe?
Maybe scaffolders, I don't know. But these guys were massive.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were New Zealand hip hop band or something. They were blinged up. They were
Tats.
They were off their faces. Like they could not concentrate. So Mark Harvey's up there telling stories about the grand final. These guys could not give two
They don't
fucks
give a fuck
about
who Mark Harvey is.
No. So they are falling off their tables. just pissed as a fart. And anyway, they're clear. Everyone's sort of looking over their shoulders, and all the football folk and the friends and that are sort of,
Come on,
yeah,
keep it
guys.
down,
But they all know
boys,
that
keep it down.
if we do this the wrong way, all hell is going to break loose because
But
these
do you
guys.
think they were a fundraiser? They'd be, no
but they're
worries,
also
boys.
these guys are thinking probably $300 a ticket.
I'm going to write myself
cut
off,
sicky.
get my
And
money's worth.
They certainly got their money's worth. And then just before I got up, Nabby, have you ever done anything for Nabby?
Nabby.
Ripping Blake. He's out at the Melton Footy Club, organises a few gigs.
No.
Anyway, so he's put off the joint. Just before I've got up, they've announced they're out of grog.
Oh,
Everyone's drunk the limit of grog.
Oh,
so they must have just put money on the bar and assumed that'd be plenty.
That'd be enough.
But that's before
They didn't count on the
30
old Islanders.
strolled in. The scaffolders.
The
strolled in.
scaffolders.
Just sculling jugs. They were, they were absolutely out of control, incoherent. And so he's got on stage. All right, guys, we've got Tommy Siegert here, the suburban footballer. He's going to be great.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking, am I going to be able to control these guys?
I'm thinking,
Is it going to be...
Oh, well, first of all, Nabby's introducing me, and still on stage, sitting on seats, is Mark Harvey and Barnesy sitting on seats behind me while I do my performance. I'm like, I'm just sitting there going, is he going to get them off or? And I'm like, fuck me, I'm going to be, oh man. And so Nabby's gone, okay,
they'd
guys.
almost think they'd get off the stage, wouldn't you? You'd think
Well, they just sat down.
they just sat there.
So I'm going to be doing my thing, and they're just going to be sitting right.
Maybe I could have done with them behind me on the Friday night gig, maybe just to give the
liven
crowd
it up a bit,
liven it up.
But
Maybe
anyway,
they
so
could
Nabby's
explain
gone,
the
okay,
joke.
guys, I know this, because the Islanders were getting a bit pissed off. They were out of booze.
Yeah, not happy.
We paid for bloody we it was meant to be
Unlimited.
free pistol 5, and we've run out at bloody 4.15. What the fuck's going on? And Nabby's gone up, and you could hardly. It was so fucking noisy in this room because everyone was trying to talk over the Islanders, and Nabby's okay, guys, but I've just put another $1,000 on the bar, okay? So we've got some more free piss, so everyone can drink free piss, and the security's starting to get a little bit heated with the Islanders. They're starting to tell a few blokes, boys, you got to settle down.
How many security guards?
Not enough. There's not enough. There weren't enough security guards in Melbourne if this shit got out of control. So I've got on stage.
Were they proper? Because you know how at this Frankston,
they were also on.
at this Frankston. Oh, okay, so they're proper security
They're
guards.
proper security
'Cause
guards.
at the security guards at this Frankston festival the other week,
Yep.
were like little
No.
like Indian kids. And I go, if something kicks off, what are they going to do?
No. Well, this was
They're not going to do anything.
This was the Deer Park Club. You don't fuck around with your security
I know
at
that
the Deer
joint.
Park
Nah,
Club.
nah.
You need some top grade security at that joint.
Yeah.
Even on a Sunday afternoon when it was.
Yeah, we were at a point where people were just walking backstage. I go, they're not bloody part of the band or anything. What, are you going to stop these
I'm
people?
on fucking $12 an hour and I'm 13.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've got on stage, done my first 10 minutes, which I can't really deviate off because it's a character. And then I've finished up, put my hat down. I said, Mark,
Get off the
Barnesy,
stage.
get off the
Fuck
fucking
off.
stage. And they were like, oh, thank fuck. Like, they were just stoked that they could get off the stage. And so they got off the stage. And then I said, big, let's hear it for Nabby, because Nabby did a great job organising it. And I said,
bank.
Mate, Nabby, great work for putting on an extra $1,000, because I just look at all those Islanders back there in the back row, and I just think, fuck, I'll tell you what we need. We need to get $1,000 more piss into those blokes. And it was just great. It sort of got everyone on side, and everyone was like,
That's
fucking
good.
really read the room well, Nabby. Great fucking work. Because if there's one, we want to make 100% sure that there's at least 15 Maoris punching on in the car park at the end of this. And everyone was, hey, it was, and then everyone settled down. It was, and it was good, and it was just great that everyone came together for Dyson. It was,
Great, Dyson.
it was good stuff. It was good stuff, and that's what footy clubs are all about.
That's
They
what it's
would
all
have made
about.
A shitload of money. The auction items were going off. Footy clubs getting behind a friend in need.
And
So,
isn't it like sometimes footy clubs, they get a bad rap, but I reckon that's from people who haven't been at footy clubs. Footy clubs
I
are
haven't been at
great.
footy clubs for 25 years.
What's that?
Or someone that hasn't been to a footy club in 25
No,
years.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
Yeah,
footy clubs are
things have
magical
changed.
places.
They're very 50-50. There's the women are down there, the men are down there, the netballers are
It's
down
responsible
there.
serving of alcohol.
That's right.
I tell you what, and I've said this I'm not sure if I've said this on the show. I've been at the Caulfield Bears nearly 20 years. And I've never been prouder of them in the last 2 years. Have I said this before?
No, but
I've never been prouder of them in the last 2 years during COVID. And they're not on their own. Probably nearly every footy club out there for getting 60, 70 blokes through COVID. We only played 6 or 7 games. Every club would have done the same thing, whether it was social media, whether it was keeping people motivated, doing the runs, checking on blokes that might have been struggling. And it was just a great little community to be involved in through a pretty shitty time. So, and then ramp that up again if something serious happens, like happened to Dice. And just great places, footy clubs. So if you don't think they're great places, you can go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Stick it up your ass. So
all right. Well, we finish on the ADHD.
Finish on the ADHD, mate.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on.
So if you don't know what's going on, just switch off now. Go back and listen to the last 2 episodes because we're not going to recap.
Nah.
So I've got my certificate. I've got ADHD.
Framed.
You little beauty. And so and what it says, it read the instructions. I've got to go down, book a meeting with my GP. GP?
Yeah, GP. General practitioner.
So I've gone in. This is it. I'm going in there and I'm going to work out. I'm going to walk out of there.
With drugs.
With a fistful of drugs. And I'm going out. And so I've walked in there and I've sat down and this is the guy that I was originally worked with to find a psychologist who he had a lot of trouble, but we eventually found
Beyond
one.
help.
And he said, Tom, and I said, how are you feeling? I said, mate, well, it's been a long journey, but I'm glad that we're nearing an end, and I'm really looking forward to just trialing these pills to see if they do anything, but I've still got it in my mind. I'm going to give it 2 months, and if it's not working for me, if it affects my mood,
I grow a third testicle.
I start bleeding out the eyeballs, I lose my creativity, it affects my sleeping, I become lethargic.
Zombie.
I'm going to piss these things off.
Yep.
Life's good anyway. I could do a bit of tweaking, but happy days. And he said, well, unfortunately, Tom, the journey's not over yet.
Oh.
He said, what this person has done, this psychologist, is given you, they've told you have ADHD, which you do.
Yep.
And they've sent you back here, and I'm not sure why she sent you back here because that's not
what you do.
That's not what you do. You don't send you back. And I said, but did she send me back? And he said, yes, I've got the email. She sent it to me. Said, now you deal with it. But now
I got no idea what to do.
I've got no idea what this guy is on about. Even I'm a specialist and I can't work this fucking guy out. So, and I said, well, what next? And she goes, well, he said, well, I don't know. I think I've got to try and find you another psychologist. I'm going to get onto this psychologist and just ask them why they've done what they've done, because it's not the done thing. They're meant to give ongoing support, and
you said she gave no support.
Oh, she gave
was
zero
darting
support.
around. She was like bloody Keith.
Yeah,
her eyes were all over the joint.
So, so I walked out of there. No pills, no idea.
Pills, no drugs. So where are we at? What's happening?
Oh, well, now I've got to go get some blood
Another
tests.
psych.
God knows why I've got to get some blood tests, but I'm getting some blood tests, and so I'm going away. I said, mate, I'm going away I'm going away on a holiday. Then I'm going away for work for a bit. I'll be back in a week or so, and I'll get the blood test then. And he said, that's great. When I see the results of the blood test come through, I'll know you're back. I'll get you back in here, and we'll see that by then I would have spoken to this psychologist, worked out why they've just sent you straight back here, and for someone with ADHD, this is the last thing I fucking need.
You don't need it.
I don't need this shit. This is, I'm almost proud of myself for sticking at this for so long, because it's as many times I've thought about jumping ship and just dealing with what I got. But I've come this far. It wasn't
stick
cheap.
with it.
It hasn't been cheap so far, so I'm going to stick.
Is.
No, so it's not over yet. So stay tuned if you want to know. All I know is I've got ADHD. No idea
what to do next.
So if one thing's really, really becoming evident is the system is
fucked.
Absolutely fucked. And if you were chomping at the bit and about to do something crazy, it's too late.
Would you think it's like, because it's like the, we got an appointment tomorrow with a specialist about the fertility specialist. It's like everything is just like, is it banked up? I don't know what's going on. Like that psychologist, I don't know what she's done it all. Like she's meant to be the one to
help
you, and then just palms you off to old GP.
Yeah, well, pretty much every email she sent me, there was a little message down the bottom that said, "Just so you're aware,
I'm not a psychologist.
Just so you're aware,
I don't have a degree.
No idea what I'm doing." No, she said, "Just so you know, I diagnose. I don't give ongoing support." But I didn't think anything of it because I've sort of thought, "Oh well, that's just what happens." But so she's just. All that.
It's all just referrals, isn't it? You've got to refer to this, you've got to refer to that, referral to this. I just want
give
me the drugs.
Give me some fucking drugs for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And look, if it doesn't work, so be it, we move on. But I want to try these things. I've really... But anyway, so that's it. So
there we go.
The mystery continues.
The ongoing saga that is Tommy's ADHD.
So stay tuned. If you want to find out what happens with me and my... amazing brain. Just stay tuned. And look, I had other stuff to talk about. We'll put that off till next week.
Mate, put mine off. My story died in the arse anyway. So that's that's another ep, mate. That's episode 57. So once again, YouTube's pumping 89 subscribers. 89 subscribers.
Just keeping our nose ahead of the...
We're well ahead,
We're
mate.
well ahead, yeah.
We are well ahead. So, and someone even commented, I think Phil, commented that the subscribers are going way in front of the episode. So...
And I think maybe a few people last week when we did our little
shout out,
ask people
pass it on,
did so, because we've had a little spike, if you don't mind me saying.
Spike, I mean,
And how good would it be to be the one that said, like, in 10 years, imagine if you could say, I listened to the first Joe Rogan episode when it first came out. Wouldn't you be proud as punch?
Yeah, would be.
And you guys are in early. Who knows? This thing could blow up. We might stop next week. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
But, so, thanks for listening. So, once again, get on the Instagram, Good Banter Podcast. If you want to hit us up about anything, really good banter at gmail.com. If you want to see me at the festival and nail this fucking Sam Worthington joke, get on the Comedy Festival website and type in Banter. That's a promo code. You get 25% off tickets. So ticket sales are
going through the
roof.
Holy shit!
Yowza! So Twitter. That's it. Have a safe week. Have a good one. And we'll see you next week. That was a bit of good banter.
Ho, ho, ho.